Hello, I'm back. Guess what? It was my birthday recently, and I got a ton of books. And I just read one, and it was so good. So, I'm gonna do one of those I got some books videos. Oh, and some of them I haven't opened yet. So the first book I got is called Heroes Die. It's by Matthew Woodring Stover. It's got this awesome, ridiculous, awful, cheesy cover. Gosh, look at it. He's got like no shirt on. It's so cheesy and I love it. I used to hate this cover. And then I saw like the new cover and I just didn't like it as well. This one's got its own characteristicness of awful and awesome combined. So yes, this is a really, really amazing book. It was phenomenal. I finished it yesterday and I was like jumping around the house shrieking. It was so exciting. This book has 3 more books after it. So they came out in 2001 and this was written in 1998. So that was quite a few years between the first book and the second book. But I'm so excited because I'm going to read those next. Well, I had some high-ish expectations for this book, although I didn't want to be disappointed, so I was trying not to. But it was so good, and it was amazing, and I loved it, and I can't wait to read more. Yeah, that's Heroes Die by Matthew Woodring Stover. Look at this cheesy cover. Actually, when I was reading it, though, when I would, like, take it places, I would just, like, take the cover off. I was like, I don't know, this just gives the wrong impression. This is an awesome, cool fantasy book. Sort of fantasy, sort of science fiction. It's very in between that way, but it's awesome. I've read The Black Company by Glenn Cook, and those were really, really good. These are the Chronicles of the Dread Empire. So, this is that series, but it's like way before. So it's actually not the same series at all. And these were actually written first, which I found out later. Glenn Cook has some of the best book titles of like any books out there. They just have the most exciting titles like this one. And this is An Empire Unacquainted with Defeat, which is like the most beautiful title ever. And I believe this is like some short stories and some other stuff that goes with this series. And then he wrote another series. I believe it's either after or a prequel, but I can't remember which. But it goes with that one as well. And that's these 3 books right here. So we have An Ill Fate Marshalling, Reap the East Wind. I really like that title. And A Path to Coldness of Heart. And this one, I went online and I looked, and there's some weird story. Apparently all of his stuff got stolen for this manuscript, and so like this was not the original book that he was going to write for this. And he didn't write it for like years and years and years and years. But I'm glad I didn't read it back then, because I would have had to wait a really long time. A really long time. A really long time. So that's these books over here. A Path to Coldness of Heart, Reap the East Wind, and An Ill Fate Marshalling. I really like the title of that one as well. And then An Empire Unacquainted with Defeat, A Cruel Wind, which is like 3 books. A Shadow of All Night Falling, October's Baby, and All Darkness Met, A Cruel Wind. And A Fortress in Shadow, The Fire in His Hands, and With Mercy Towards None. This book I bought at a used bookstore. And then these ones I just had to buy to go with it. Oh, and then I was on Amazon, and you know how they say, like, related books or people who bought this also liked this? Well, I found this book. It's called The Swordbearer, and, like, it just sounds so cool. And it's by Glenn Cook. I don't know, I guess he, like, finds a magic sword that helps him make his dreams, but, like, it's not what he thought it was gonna be, and I don't know, I'm making it sound really cheesy, but it's Glenn Cook, so it's gonna be awesome. This is Golden Sun, and I haven't read it yet because I did end up reading Fool's Quest by Robin Hobb before this. I have something not necessarily special, but at least specific for this book, as far as video-wise. So I haven't read this one yet. That's why I read Heroes Die instead, and I've been wanting to read that one forever, so that was really cool. But I'm going to read this one next. And, yeah, I'm going to read Golden Sun, like, probably starting tonight as soon as I get done filming this video. I'll read this book. So Daniel Abraham, who wrote these books, the Dagger and the Coin series. Oh, and this is why I love my mom. She thought she got me all of them. She didn't buy me number 1. So that's okay. I love her. But anyway, I ordered it. So maybe it's in those boxes. If not, it will be here soon. So the first one is called The Dragon's Path. It should hopefully be here soon. The second one is not this one. The King's Blood. And then The Tyrant's Law. And then The Widow's House. I can't wait for the next book in the stack. I bought this book a long time ago at a used bookstore. I had like no expectations for this book. I'm like, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. And I'll just read it and see how it goes. I literally read it and I was like, this book was just, and this is like still to this day is like my favorite book. Now this is The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. When I read this book, I didn't realize that there was a second one, and the second one, no spoilers, but it kind of has a bit of a cliffhanger, which is fine now that the third one is finally out. But when I bought it, there was like no talk of the third one, and no one knew if it was ever going to be a thing. So, this book, if it had been a standalone book, which I originally thought it was, has like the most beautiful endings. No, it's an awful ending. It was just really perfect. Like, if a book had to be a standalone book, this would be a good candidate. The lies. And I loved it. And I can't say anything if you haven't read it, so go read it! So this is The Lies of Locke Lamora in its little mass market paperback. So this is still like the book of books. But I've been really wanting like the original cover because they have this in hardcover. The first time I read this book, I didn't like the original cover, which is ridiculous because the original cover is even more beautiful than this. Wait till you see it. So I've been wanting this book forever, and I almost didn't buy it because it meant I couldn't buy like 3 or 4 other books because it was a little expensive. But look how beautiful it is, and it's in hardcover, and it's got a little nick there, but that's okay. And I just went online and I bought some plastic book covers. I'm going to put it over the top of this dust jacket, so that'll be just fine. So this is my favorite book. This is the new crowning jewel of my book collection. But this is just the most beautiful book I've ever seen for now. This book, I went to the bookstore and I bought it. And this book is about Dritz Stewart-Erden. And if you're going to read these books, don't start here, because they've got a whole bunch of them. There's just like lots of them. I don't even know how many. These are the books that like I don't even know if they're good anymore. I haven't read them in a while, but if I see one, that's the next one, and I just buy it because I will get to it. By R.A. Salvatore. The first one is called Homeland. The other 3 books that my mom got me for my birthday, she got me all of the Mistborn. So I read Mistborn. I have not read The Hero of Ages or The Well of Ascension. But I got all of these in this beautiful hardcover, and I really like them a lot. And I know a lot of people have, like, the UK, I think they're UK covers. They're the white covers with the blue on them. And I think those are really pretty, too. But, like, I just love the art on these. Look how pretty it is, and all the colors. I really like the colors. And I know it's a little bit ridiculous, but when you line them all up like this, I love that little red line on the top and the bottom that goes all the way down the spine. So, Mistborn, Brandon Sanderson. So, and then, the same time that I went and bought A Fortress in Shadow, I also bought Renegade's Magic. Now, I read the first 2 books in this series, which is also by Robin Hobb, and that is Forest Mage and Shaman's Crossing. I bought this one at a used bookstore, and then I went on Amazon, again, with my gift cards, and I bought the other 2 in the series. So I bought Shaman's Crossing, that I used to already own, which is this one right here. This one right here. Then I bought Forest Mage, which is book 2, and Renegade's Magic, which is book 3. And I read about the first book, which I liked. The second book, it wasn't that I didn't like it. I think I was a bit young for it, and I just didn't like where it was going. It made my heart hurt too much for the characters. But I've since learned that that's something that Robin Hobb does really well. She's really good at making you love her characters and, like, being really sad for them. So, I'm expecting that this time around, and I think I will enjoy them more because I did. And I think at the time there were other things that took my attention, so I never read the third one. So I'm really excited to do that. I will spend so long, I think I'll just reread the whole series. And now we're to the boxes. But, to open these boxes, I'm going to need a knife. So, I'm going to hurt the books inside. Alright. Yeah, actually, now I think about it, I won't, rip the covers. I cannot get that open. Apparently, these things just don't... Oh, see, that side likes me way better. That's good enough. Mwahahaha. Yes, that's what I thought. That's what I expected. So, back to these Drizzt Ernden books by Ari Salvatore. And I have all of them except for like 3 in the middle. So there's 3 books I need in the middle, and these are 2 of them. We have The Lone Drow, which I was on Amazon, and they kept like it would be there one day, and then it would be gone the next day, and then it was like, oh, I need to buy this book in hardcover. And like this one in particular, I don't know why, it just was like not there half the time. Ooh, and it even says Wizards of the Coast. I got The Lone Drow and The Thousand Orcs, and then the last one is The Hunter's Blades, but apparently it's not here yet, so let me flip out about these in a second. And I'm super excited about these because now I've been wanting these books for years and years and years. Not years and years, but I was like in high school, and now I'm married and not in high school. My collection is finally complete. Well, it will be as soon as the other one gets here. I'll just rip this open. Alright. I'll stop with my ridiculous, slightly frightening sound effects. Ooh, lots of paper. Look! Ooh. Oh! This is not a book. This is not a book. These are my jacket covers, and you had to buy them in, like, boxes of 30. I've never had these before, but I wanted one for this book, and this book actually came with one when I bought it, and I was like, oh, that's so nice, and it just keeps it all nice and beautiful, and it kind of feels nice. It reminds me of, like, a library book in, like, the very best way. So that is why these are so light. I wondered it didn't quite feel like a book. So these are my jacket covers. Let me try one out right now. I will take them off because one of them is gonna, and there's 2 different sizes. I don't know why there's 2 different sizes. I guess I could put the little one, I think that's what I'll do. I'll put the little one on here. Let's learn how to use these. So, yeah, those looks like fit. Because this one's just a little, kind of a big crease there. I don't want to hurt it anymore. So, you stick. Yeah, I know. There's directions. We don't need those. So, you put the little flaps up. I got 2 here. That's good enough. And then I put the book back down. And I put it back on the book. Just like it was always meant to be there. And that's perfect. And not only does this protect the dust jackets, but it makes the book all shiny. I mean, not shiny, but yeah, it's kind of shiny. Not like glittery. Not glittery, but shiny. Is my cat's tail in the video? Kitty. Kitty, you're in my video. You're in my video, Kitty. Isn't she a darling, fat kitty? She's too spoiled for her own good. Oh, you know why she's here? She's here for the paper. Kitty! I wish you could see her right now. She's here for the paper and the boxes, which means I know just how to get it with her. You crumple this up in a really big ball, and you go, and she jumps after it.